Welcome to TLC for the Soul podcast, where soul meets spirit. You have entered into sacred space. I'm your host, TAMI Chambers, and I'm here to help you shine. Now let's get going on this podcast journey. Hello, friends. Hello. And welcome to this special, they're all special to me, but for some reason they're making it seem like it's more special than usual episode of our show. It's a love fast. Why is it a love fast? No, it's a love feast. I want to welcome you in. Welcome. Whether you're new, whether you're returning, whether you're watching or listening, there's going to be something in here for everybody. I was not planning on this, but it appears to be a show kind of not centered around Valentine's Day, but centered around couples. They're saying couples. So a while back, I wanted to do a love reading, and they told me, no. They told me it wasn't the right time. And now they're saying it is time to do this little, it's not even a reading. We're going to be doing Wolfpack Reiki for enhanced telepathic bond, for a clear telepathic bond between you and another. Ooh, I don't know where this is going. So exciting though. I have some things to show you, some things we're going to do. But before we get started, let me just wrap us all in love light and light love, inviting in the spirit guides, whoever light this show, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, the Pleiadians. I have some special guides who are joining us for this particular show today. I have Valentina, I really need to find out her real name, but my little troll lady. She is a special little love troll woman, little love fairy. And I have my wolf shifters, Ataka and Ina. And these are part of my big bunch of spirit guides. So Ataka and Ina are, I don't ever use these typically like this, but they are energetically bound to this amulet. The amulet has, I don't doubt these are real stones, but it has like a big turquoise stone. I actually should have probably worn it. A big turquoise stone in the middle of it. So that has to do with communication and opening up the lines of communication. And Ataka and Ina are a mated pair of etheric wolf shifters from a Native American wolf shifter tribe. Ataka and Ina. So they will be helping us with this Reiki session today. So let's just tap into, let me just sit with this for a minute. The other guides that came in, if you've been following the Bringers of the Light story, is the 9 wolf pack, the deep 9. Oh, so chills. Every time I connect with them. They are an etheric pack of wolves, very, very telepathic, and they are here to help us. So the intention for this is really just more to have fun more than anything. I'm not trying to take it too seriously. But if there's someone, it doesn't have to be a romantic someone, but if there's someone that you've been wanting to just play with the powers of telepathy with someone else, this is going to help open up the bonds of that. And I don't know where it was that we talked about when you're playing with telepathy, maybe just picking like one individual to work with that on, so you're not, just bringing in telepathic communication just from everyone or anyone. So you want to set the intention at the beginning of this session for a clear telepathic bond and communication between you and someone else. Okay? So the tools they had me bring in, this candle. Now this is a divine masculine candle. That doesn't mean that you have to connect with the divine masculine, but it's called Santana, and it's the Ombre brand. Clear wood, oh sorry, my old eyes. Cedar wood and lavender. These are small batch candles. So we're going to light this. So is telepathy, I wouldn't see that telepathy is a divine masculine trait. Not trait, but I would think of telepathy as being like a divine feminine thing, like the psychic senses would be more something the divine feminine would be in tune with. But I should not generalize that, because many of our divine masculine are very powerful, obviously warriors and warlocks, warlocks and warriors and wizards and all these things, and wolf shifters, because the people that are going to be drawn to this video are my wolf pack family members, community and tribe that watch this, listen to this podcast, or are new and are just drawn here to come play with these topics. So we've got the Ombre Santana candle lit. And before we can just walk right in and just throw some Reiki down, and my guys the other day were like, "You're a Reiki master and you're not even doing anything with that." I'm like, "I kind of am." But I was kind of getting like the finger wagging, like, "Come on now, use some of these tools that you have." So we don't do a lot of Reiki videos because they're just, everybody does them, and I just feel like they're so common, and I try to be a little bit more avant-garde, or not avant-garde, but like a little bit more not doing what everybody else is doing. I don't know, whatever. Everybody's doing their own thing, right? So we're going to do a little bit of energy clearing. Oh, why is it whenever I get in front of the show, I have to get up and get more tools? We're going to do a little energy clearing before we just throw down some Reiki. So I also have the Lovebirds mug. It seems like every time I'm on this show, I have the Lovebirds mug. We're going to draw some cards from this deck that I finally finished modifying. So things are moving forward, right? I finally finished cutting all the borders off this deck and coloring all the sides. And it just works better for me. I'm going to grab this drum. I'll be right back. Okay. So we've got the big mama drum here with the big spirit faces all over it. And we're going to do a little energy clearing. So let's take a deep breath and close your eyes before we start asking wolves to come in. Okay, they are taking us right in to a deep forest setting. Oh, okay. They said your person, whoever it is, whoever wants to be telepathically bonding with you is going to show themselves to you in this forest and setting. Oh my God, I can't talk and drum at the same time. So let's just close our eyes and take a deep breath. Allow yourself to be led out. I can't even talk on this one. You're going to allow, here's what we're going to do. Hold on. Here's what we're going to do. Let's just say it up front and then we'll do the drumming. Because it's like, for some reason right now, I can't talk and drum at the same time. So what we're going to do is you're going to let yourself be led out by the drum to a deep forest setting of your choosing. And the other being, so it may not be somebody in the 3D. It could be somebody you know. I know telepathy, well, they say there's many definitions to telepathy, but the being that wants to have a telepathic bond with you could be an off-planet light being that wants to communicate with you. I don't know. It could be your star family. It could be somebody from your star family. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic couple thing, but this is could also be a friendship bond. So you're going to go to this forest setting with the drum and you're going to just wait there it's not going to take very long. And that being, be it a 3D person in 3D, maybe a soulmate who has crossed over to the other side, or some being that knows you from off planet, is going to show themselves to you. And that is going to be the one that you're going to practice with for this telepathy, this telepathic bond that we're going to open up your channels to here momentarily. So let's do this until the drum stops. Clear communication from one source, one energy source, spirit. So the energy source that most needs to or most wants to communicate with us. You're going to see their face or sense their energy field, and you're immediately going to know this being or this energy. If it's still not clear to you yet, say I'm open to receive. We've got deep protection going on here right now from the guides that are around this circle, so you're in a safe place to receive. Okay. So hopefully your person or your being, like, why did I say being? But hopefully this energy has made itself known to you. And now you can just sit back relax for a minute, because that's the one we're going to be opening up a clear channel. Because what I did feel as part of the other energy coming in, it was a little bit of like fuzziness or haziness in the lines of communication. And when the soul came in, who is going to be working with me, it's kind of like I said, I had like a little communication with them, and I was like, clearly show yourself to me. I want to see, I knew the energy already when it came in. I already know who it is. But when it came in, I was like, show me your face. I want to see who you are. And the person said, you show me your heart. So, namarakate. So this is a heart connection. And I think that's where the opening has to occur with the Reiki that we're going to do, to clear the lines, because it was very hazy. And when I said out loud, like, Spirit, give us a clear, like, give us one clear person or entity or being or whatever that wants to communicate with us, it felt very foggy. Like, the lines of communication were there. And when my person stepped into the circle, I already felt and knew their energy signature, their soul signature. But I still was kind of doubting it in a sense. And when I said, who are you? Again, the person was like, you already know who I am. So it's a heart opening, because I have noticed when doing this before, like when the heart's very open, especially listening to music, certain types of music, the channels that are very heart opening, the channels of communication are much easier. And I get very clear visuals of what this other soul is wanting to share. So if you want to play with this and practice a little bit more, and chances are too, it's the same thing back and forth. It's reciprocal. It's like the other soul, I'm just going to say soul for lack of a better word right now. The other soul wants to communicate with you. You want to communicate with them. I'm talking about telepathically, whatever that means. When it has to do with a wolf pack, they can't talk to each other verbally, right? So, and they don't have like a verbal the English language or whatever. So they show each other visuals, scenes. Yes, they show each other pictures of what they're trying to communicate, rather than saying a whole bunch of, gobbledygook and you trying to channel a bunch of words. And you get a feeling, or you start to bond with this other soul through their soul signature and through their heart space, rather than so much through their scent or their bond with you. Because this, like for Ataka and Ina, these wolf shifters, like a wolf shifters, this wolf pack, male and female, mate for life. And so this is an eternal, through time and space, outside of linear time, soul bond with you and this other being that has, I keep going on with the being in the soul, the being in the soul, who's showing themselves to you and who wants to kind of have some telepathic play with you. Does this go anywhere? Like, for those of you that may be waiting for like a divine counterpart to show up in the 3D world, like, I don't know, right? Who knows how long? Who knows how long that might be? But for now, it's all about opening up the lines of communication and play in the etheric world first, because was it the last show where we were talking about manifesting and Master Co? Yeah, in order to bring in anything into the 3D world and to manifest something into the 3D world, you kind of have to start feeling it more in the emotional body and the mental body. And in this case, because this connection that's coming through seems very destined and fated to be with you beyond time and space, it's a very spiritual, etheric connection as well. And I don't think that there's too many of you that would be necessarily maybe surprised by the energy that came through that wants to connect with you. And it could be that they've been trying to, but because there's some fuzziness in the lines, because the heart may not be completely open to the experience or to, I think that it sounds like there's some of you that maybe you're afraid of what you might be shown through this experience. It may be things that you weren't hoping for, or maybe expecting, like, oh, maybe it's better. I don't know. But, there's a few little like blocks or fears around maybe seeing things that you didn't want to see. Why is that? The heart has many doors. Well, we know the heart has many doors, but I don't know. Let me just keep going. Let's draw a card on that before we're getting to this Reiki. This is actually, the Reiki actually really has started when you started watching the show. I don't necessarily let me just pause for like everybody does Reiki differently, okay? Some people have to project, like hold up their hands and project to you through the camera or through the I don't know, through the lines. Or there's some of you that are kind of skeptical about, Reiki is done by somebody holding up their hands and projecting some energy out of their hands. And so that's why a lot of people, put their hands up. And Reiki is a universal life force, life source, energy from source. And the practitioner, in this case, me, can do and intend for the Reiki to be delivered in whatever way is going to work best for everyone involved. That's always the intention. But for me, I consider myself like a living crystal. You are too. It's all how you see it, but like I'm a living crystal anyway. My whole body is a crystalline structure. And so just by me holding the intention to send out Reiki means my big giant crystal soul signature will just start sending Reiki when I intend Reiki to be sent. If I don't have to do the Reiki symbols, I can. They don't really help me personally. I kind of have moved beyond using them. But there's many practitioners that do. So everybody's doing their own thing. I just want to put that out there so that you understand when I say Reiki is already being sent, that it's being sent from me. I can feel it coming out of my hands, but it's just not my hands. It's coming out of my voice, my eyes, my whole entire soul signature right now is connected directly to source and divine source, life force energy, crystalline consciousness, and is sending I'm speaking these words, and the intention is that Reiki is being sent to you right now. So slowly, as you're watching or listening this show, the lines of communication, the things that are blocking are slowly being cleared through what's being communicated here as you're sitting in a receptive mode, listening, watching. Reiki is flowing through you. Anything that's bubbling up that I bring up through anything that I'm saying that causes like a, for lack of a better word, trigger, that causes something to come out like, oh, she said might be afraid of what I might see or hear through this telepathy. Is telepathy even real? Blah, blah, blah. All those things are thought forms somewhere in your auric field, stored in a chakra or somewhere in your etheric body. We've brought them to the surface. And typically, if you look at them with your master eyes, my nose is itching. It's like Tabitha. I'm bewitched. Then they come out and they can be easily removed. In this case, rather than using the violet fire, just because I want to do something different, I'm asking for the Reiki angels to come in, angels that support this Reiki healing that are here now, to take any discordant energy from you and remove that and transmute that off planet. All right, let's get this deck. I really like the visuals of it. What do I want to say though? What is our intention with this card? What are some things that you could be working on with this telepathic bond? Because I think we should set some intentions around, we're opening up a clear telepathic bond between you and this other individual or other soul signature. I don't want it to just be like willy-nilly for anything. Unless you do, you can set your own intention, but let's just see if we get any guidance around the purpose, or where this telepathic bond is going in terms of like, what do we need to do here? And shuffle this little deck. It's hard to hold them up. I guess you don't really have to see me shuffling. They're pushing out all these. Is that it? Okay, they're pushed out a bunch of cards to me. So there's 3 cards. This is a tarot deck, but honestly, for a lot of these, I can't figure out what they are. 5, 6, 7, 8. Like this one, I don't know, and I haven't bothered to look it up. But card number 8. What is that? Let's see. Let me just look it up. We could read it intuitively, but I might as well know what this card really is. That's the Strength card? Oh, okay. Well, let me describe it for those of you that are watching. So the first card that came out was the Strength card. It's like a big, I have no idea what that is in the background. Honestly, maybe angel wings. A giant heart split down the middle. But it's a girl with a big old mane of hair, and she's sitting in front of this. This is a weird, I'm sorry, I shouldn't judge it, but it's a Strength card. Like, all you've been through, you're stronger. And there's like the spine is notated here. She's got this big mane of hair. She's crying, like, ah. And she's got all these X's all over. Like, these cards, I look like they were drawn with like marker or paint or something. So I don't know. She's got like X's on her body. She's got a lot of tears. All right. It came out with the 4 of Pentacles, which this 4 of Pentacles is a pig with pentacles on its feet. A pentacle on its nose. I don't know. Like it's balancing. And the last card is the 9 of Wands. But I couldn't even tell you what yoga pose this is. She's only balancing on her elbows on a pillow or the floor, and her feet are up over her head, like a really big balance pose. And there's a clock with the number 9. So what does this have to do with this telepathic bond? I think what you're going to be able to do, this is how I'm going to interpret this, and I'm going to let you gather from your guides that are here with you right now any other interpretations of what you think this might be for you. But I think this is a chance telepathically to start to get to know this soul signature a little bit better in terms of the journey that they've been on, hence the Strength card. To find, the pig is just throwing me, honestly, to find balance within, there's a spiral, the pig's tail too is in a spiral. I just find it interesting that only 3 feet are on the pentacles and the other pentacles on the nose. It's very interesting to me. But to find some balance, and curly cues or spirals are all about healing. So I think it's going to be very reciprocal because we have balance again in this Nine of Wands card with this girl balancing on her elbows, only and the legs up over the head. I think this relationship, this telepathy is going to start, you'll be able to kind of start showing each other things that you've been working on at a soul level. There may be, it's like a very balanced relationship. I think what you're going to find is the things that you have been working on are the same things, or not exact same things, but the same soul lessons that the other individual has been working on, the other soul has been working on. And you're going to come into this kind of reciprocal telepathy about, I'm not alone on this journey. There's another soul, another being out there, another energy out there who's been going through something very similar to what I've been going through. And it's going to make you feel like not so alone in this world. And it's going to bring you into this balance in terms of patience and peace and understanding of where you're at on your own soul path. So it's not so much that you're going to be doing healing together. It's almost like you are coming into this bond with this other soul who is kind of going to be like, I don't want to say imaginary friend because they exist out there. They're not imaginary. You didn't make them up. But I think you're starting to form a etheric bond. Why? What? So they just keep saying, so you don't feel so alone. So you don't feel so alone. And what you take with that and what you do with that in the 3D, they're saying is really irrelevant to what's happening here with this exercise. This exercise, this Reiki, this telepathic bond is a fun way to just start playing with the energies. So with that being said, I am going to bring in some 2 crystals that have been working with this type of energy of soul bonds between one individual and another individual. The first one is this double, almost triple terminated Lemurian Angel Aura Quartz. And then the second one is a clear quartz, almost like a Vogel, that I've been working with for the same type of purpose. Clear communication, a bond, an etheric bond that goes beyond time and space between one soul and another soul. And so that crystal has kind of holds that energy within it. So now I am actually going to take the double terminated Lemurian, and I'm going to kind of, because I'm asking this Lemurian quartz to send out an energy of something that you might remember from ancient wisdom, ancient times. It may not necessarily be just Lemuria. It could be Atlantis, but it doesn't go beyond that. It's very crystal clear, high vibe, Atlantean and or Lemurian lifetime, or an off-planet lifetime where you shared this same bond with this same soul signature. And so this Lemurian quartz, in a sense, is kind of projecting out that, because Lemurians hold, right, they're like record keepers, and they're holding the knowledge that it's safe for you to open your heart and communicate with this other being, this other soul, that you already know, you already feel, and if you don't, then the energy of this Lemurian is going to start bringing you this sense of reassurance that this is not, some energy that you have no idea who or what it is. You've known this being, this other soul before. And so you may start getting glimpses or feelings of those past times. So what happens when that comes in is your heart opens then to this other soul, this other entity, this other being. And the lines of communication are easier then to reach each other because you already know what they feel like. And then the last crystal we're going to bring in is this big, so heavy, this big Vogel one that's been working with the energy of soul bond. And this one is going to open the clear line of communication between you and this other soul signature through the Reiki. So it's not so much here about clearing chakras. The Reiki is specifically going to open up this telepathic bond, make it easier to receive the images and the messages from this soul signature, this other being. And so the way that you will recognize this and will make it easier is either having me do the infinity symbol. So this is like a beyond time and space connection. The way that you will recognize telepathy from this other soul signature, this other soul, this other being, is you will first feel them in your heart space. You'll feel them. You know what they feel like. Or you might see them, because everybody is different, but you should feel them in your heart space, and then you'll start getting the images from them. And you can actively send them images as well. Rather than, I think what's been happening before we kind of bring this up, is you guys have been doing this kind of, like your higher selves have been doing this with each other already. But now it's time to, if you want to play with this, make a more conscious effort to send these images to the other being, other soul, and receive back messages from them. So it might work slightly different for each one of you, but that is the intention. And they're saying one more card. So let me draw one more card. They're saying I want an outcome. What is the outcome of all this? Knowing all this stuff. So they're going to be sharing. Oh, it's the same damn card. So it's the same card again. The Nine of Wands. This kind of, what is the outcome? It's balance. It's glam. It's glitter. It's like hearing that thing from the School of Rock. That kid that's like, they're talking about the outfits for the rock band, and the one kid like designs these horrible outfits. They're like really flashy, and the kids are like, we don't want to wear this. And the kid's like, what are you talking about? They're glam. They're glitter. What do you know? He tells Jack Black, like, what do you know about, look at that bow tie. And Jack Black's like, what? I think the outcome is playfulness and fun and flirtation and just having fun with it. Because this person just looks like they don't have a care in the world. And they are wearing, there's a lot of colors represented in this. So I think the outcome too is you're just going to start feeling better. And you're going to start magnetizing this person in, if that's what you want to do. All right, let me take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And we're going to seal this by chanting Om 3 times. We're going to seal this energy in. We're going to blow out our candle, and then this will be complete. So let's take a deep breath. Seal this energy in. This session is complete. All right, y'all. I want to thank y'all for joining me so much. And we will see y'all again soon. Take care.